The 69th edition of the London Film Festival, which is run by the UK's lead organisation for film and the moving image, the British Film Institute, will take place until the 19th of October. The event has drawn in film stars from across the world for the screening of the latest blockbusters, including Sentimental Value, the latest instalment of the Knives Out series, and biographical drama H is for Hawk.
Obviously football is at the heart of the story, but as Lisa said, we felt it was so rich and it covered so many themes that it was primed for being put onto the big screen and felt like it was worthy of the big screen.
I just think, working with Guillermo, that he was so strong in his vision about this that you just had to follow his lead. And it was very apparent every day we worked that he knew what he was doing. But at the same time, wanted our input and our creativity. So in that sense, it's, yeah.
I would argue that those guys, the real big Hollywood stars, kind of vanished in the, really by the end of the 70s. Those were the guys that when you think about like Redford, who just died, and Newman and Gregory Peck and all those guys, that was kind of the last generation of the guys that you went solely to see them in a movie. And I miss that. I miss those guys, in fact, because they brought us all such joy, So it's been a while.
In some of the early reactions, it appears that if you were in Roy's camp at the start, you might still be in Roy's camp. And if you're in Mick's camp, you might stay in Mick's camp. What I would like to think is that by telling this story, maybe people who were very heavily entrenched in one side or the other can understand how the other man felt and how basically both men were put in a quite difficult position, and both men actually had a lot in common. They wanted Ireland to do well, they wanted Ireland to do well for the country.
Yeah, it was fun, because I've been lucky enough not to I haven't had to look back at my life with great regret, If you do the things you want to do and you take the risks you want to take, and whether you succeed or fail, it's a lot easier to live without regret. You know what I mean? So I didn't have to deal with that so much, which is helpful.